Welcome to So Much to Talk About Big East Media Day. My pleasure once again to have coach of the defending Big East Tournament champions, 2008, Mr. Coach Jamie Dixon. Pleasure to have you on.
Good to be here again. It's good to be here. We do, obviously New York is very important to us, and the Big East Tournament, Madison Square Garden, we play there anytime we can, and we also have so many players from New York City, so it just always works out. So it's good to be back anytime. I've been here recruiting a lot the last couple of weeks, so we've been in and out of the city.
How's the class looking for 2009?
Very good, very good. We can't talk about specific names, but it's a very good class. We had to get some size, so that was something we were focusing on. And but I think we got to replace three very good seniors, so we need to have a good group coming in.
It's good to have that trio of Sam Young, Levance Fields, and DeJuan Blair coming back. Talk about like how they can really elevate their game to new heights this year.
Well, it is unique. We've had a lot of, we've had experienced guys coming back, but I don't know if we've ever had a group of just three guys that have put up the numbers that they have and had the experience that they had. So a little unique in that regard. We're not quite as experienced at the other spots and what we have returning, so that's going to be really the challenge. But those three guys, I think we all gave them a couple goals, couple things to set their sights on where they could improve. And, Sam was kind of like decision-making, assist the turnovers, guarding on the perimeter defensively, being able to guard guys coming off of screens. DeJuan, we want to get a little better conditioning, his body, stay out of foul trouble, things like that. And Levance, consistent on his shooting and getting his conditioning to be a little bit better. Of course, the foot injury has really hurt us in that regard. So we haven't been able to do everything we wanted to do with Levance in this off season.
Levance could shoot like he does in the crunch time because he's such a cold-blooded assassin.
He makes big-time shots. He's a competitor, great decision maker. His assist-to-turnover ratio has been off the charts for all 3 years, and I'm sure will continue his fourth year. But he really has just a great feel for the game. He knows where people are. He doesn't force passes, and he reads the defense. He has a great feel. He doesn't force things, and just has always had that knack, and that's hard to teach. So you better recruit guys that have that feel, and fortunately we saw him and knew he'd have it, and he brings a lot of toughness and competitiveness to our program.
Talk about how's the non-conference schedule for this year?
Well, it's a challenge. We try to play in New York whenever we can. We weren't able to get a game in the Garden this year. We tried. The MSG gave us the opportunity. ESPN wanted to televise it, but then we had to find somebody that would play us, and we couldn't get anybody to do that. So
they know the track record.
I don't know what it was, but we tried. We called everybody. We did all we could. But we have two games in Newark, New Jersey, and the Legends Classic, which will be a very good tournament for us. It's great to get there and see. We're going to play Siena, who's a very picked to win their conference. Miami of Ohio picked to win their conference. We really tried to find teams that coming into our place, there were teams that picked to win their conference. And Belmont, another team, NCAA tournament team, Siena NCAA tournament team, all teams returning all their guys that were picked to win their conference. So challenge in that regard. We played Duquesne's a rivalry game for a city game. Florida State, we're going down there. So, we didn't quite get everything we wanted as far as we always want to play in New York whenever we can. But, you got to have somebody that wants to play you, too. It takes two to tango, as they say. So we got to get but we'll be back here in the Garden here in the next couple of years. We've got the NIT, preseason NIT, Coaches vs. Cancer we're signed up for. Jimmy V, we're working to get in that. So anytime there's a game in the Garden, they know we'll do everything we can to get there.
Talk about this year's Maggie Dixon Classic, your younger sister, who's a great coach herself, and talk about that Classic for this year.
Yeah, it's exciting. We just met today, did some stuff on it this morning before we came over here today, and talked about where we wanted to go with it and how it was going. It's really gotten bigger and bigger. The two games this year, Connecticut versus Penn State, and then we got Rutgers versus West Point. And next year it looks like we've got lined up. We're looking at Tennessee, Baylor, Rutgers, and finalizing that last team. But we have the date set. What's really become our vision for the Maggie Dixon Classic was to have two things: to promote women's basketball, which is something that Maggie really wanted to do, and watch the growth of it. And playing in Madison Square Garden on ESPN would really enhance that, and making this the premier women's basketball tournament. And then make people aware of the heart and taking care of themselves. And so what we have going there is the Heart Health Expo as part of the Maggie Dixon Classic, which really has taken on a life of its own. And we're going to give kids, young people, free EKGs that monitor their heart, to check their heart to see if there's any abnormalities. And that's something that a number of countries do, and is now something that we feel that young kids should be able to do, because you can really detect some issues, abnormalities, whatever it may be, and there are things that you can do and to prevent these things from occurring. There's all different things that can happen to young people with their hearts, and that's what we're on a mission to do. So those two things are what we're looking to do, and we're heading the right direction. Okay.
It's a wonderful thing for sure, and you're doing so much for that as well as college basketball. One of the classy guys, that's for sure. And a pleasure to have you on the SMTA once again.
Thanks. Good being here. Thank you, guys.